We're going to be taking a look at the new HR telecommuting pilot program application eForm here in My Binghamton. So the way that most people are going to access this is we're obviously going to provide a direct link, but alternatively, they can log into My Binghamton, go to the other menu here, and pull up HR eForms all the way at the bottom. Obviously, I've got a lot more stuff than most people would. And so this menu would be a lot shorter. That'll bring up this form right here. So people can just go ahead and fill it out. I've already got a few fields put in here right now, mostly garbage stuff, but they can fill out their title, their department, their bargaining unit, all of that kind of stuff, their email address, and then they can put in their current job duties and what they expect to be accomplishing while they're telecommuting, as well as their device serial number if they have a computer. If we have a state issued laptop and click yes, you can see that it actually does provide a place to put in that information as well. You're going to put in your name saying that you're effectively signing the form, the date that you're signing the form, and then we get down here to the interesting parts. So this is where we have the approval routing. This is where we're going to put the first level approval. So in this situation, I'm going to route it in my case to Niazi Bodor, who's the Chief Information Officer for Binghamton University. And then I'm going to copy my direct manager, who would be Michael Allington, and he's going to get emails as things are approved. But since I'm showing this in a demo capacity, I'm actually just going to put my name in for both of these things, which is obviously not what you would do normally, but that's how we're going to do routing just for this demo purpose. So now that I've got everything submitted, and just to show you that the validation in here, anything where there's a star next to it is required. So if I go ahead and click submit, you'll notice that it does say that I do need to provide that information. So I am going to put my name back in here, and you notice I can search for that. Additionally, down here, you'll notice that I can upload files. So if somebody wanted to include a copy of their performance program or whatever else for whatever reason, they can do that here as well. So let's go ahead and submit this. All right, so now it's been routed to the person that I sent for the first level approval. And that, in my case, should be Niazi Bodor, but again, because I'm submitting this on my own behalf, I'm going to send it to myself. So now here we can see all the data that was submitted. We can go over here and see, go back in time and look at what was actually submitted by me at that point in time. And you'll notice that I, in this case, Niazi, have two different options that I can take. Now, the first option is probably the most common for most staff, where they're just going to go ahead and click on this and submit it to Human Resources. In this case, they can say that I'm either meeting criteria or I'm meeting criteria with a particular comment. So I can put in here that I am going to, that maybe I missed something and that should be accounted for as well. But I'm going to ignore that for the time being, and we're going to take a look at this request second level approval. Now, in this particular case, this might be on the faculty side of the house where it needs to go to deans or something like that for a second level approval. I can click on that. Obviously, the same choices exist where I can say that it meets criteria or meets criteria with a certain comment. So let's go ahead and do that. Here is a comment. But most importantly, we now can specify a second approval person. So it's been approved by the first person, and we're actually going to set it to a second person so they can approve as well. So I'm going to do that. And again, because we're testing, I'm going to put myself in here yet again. So let's do that, and we'll go ahead and click submit. And here we are. So now we're at the second level of approval. You'll notice that this was how the previous person had filled it out. So in this case, this is what Niazi would have submitted. We can see the full history again in here. And now we have an opportunity to the second level person to submit this to HR with a comment. So they would go in, and this is the same thing that we were seeing before, but this is now the second level of approval. So I'll say, maybe we don't need a comment for this one. We'll just say meets criteria. So we'll go ahead and submit this again. And now it's routed to this HR process group. So now it's within the human resources. The request has been closed. I had indicated that I wanted Michael Allington to get an email saying that that information was available, and so all of those emails have gone out, and everybody's been correctly notified of all of this particular information. So everything is done. We're now in HR process and we're closed, and that's really all that has to be done for this particular workflow submission.